Peace and power to the true and living. What's good, fam? The CBornNacirfaSun, and I am you. Yo, I'm back with another powerful reflection. I'm excited to be back with this reflection. I'm pretty sure by now you've probably heard of everything that's been happening with us here in Texas. I live in Houston, and literally, man, the whole state froze over. We've never experienced a winter like this before. Even the people who prepared for this, the preparations were not enough because we're not expecting things to get this out of hand. Matter of fact, I was talking with my plumber the other day, and he was telling me that this is the worst insurance emergency that we have ever experienced in Texas. So that just gives you an idea of the damages that were done. It's crazy. I know on my street, a lot of my neighbors' pipes froze and busted, and flooded their homes. In my home, my pipes froze and busted and flooded 2 of the rooms in the house. So we had to scramble and get everything as much as we can into the guest bedroom. And right now, my wife and I are camping out in the living room until we get all this nonsense situated. So it's mad real down here in Texas, and there's a lot of people in my situation, but there's even more people in worse off situations than we are. There's still some people who don't have power and don't have water. We were lucky enough to get power back, but we still don't have water. So every day we're having to go out and do some water hustling, to take care of ourselves and things like that. So it's real, man. And I wish I could say that this was just a result of harsh or bad weather alone, but that's not the case. There's a lot of motherfuckers at the top, evil motherfuckers at the top, making fucked up decisions that do not take into consideration the well-being of the people. So the things that happen here in Texas is not unrelated to the Luciferian agenda. There are no more random events. And pretty soon we're gonna have to learn that there are no more random events. All these things that are happening are all related, and they all include, to a certain extent, some level of orchestration and planning. You know what I'm saying? It's not accidents. These things are being done on purpose. It's all a part of the Luciferian agenda, but I don't want to get off into that because that's not the purpose of this video. There's a lot of other people out there shining some light on this situation. The purpose of this video is that I want to talk about gender confusion. And this is a reflection that I've been wanting to do for a while. So today's a perfect day to talk about that, because this gender confusion thing is on an increase. And to me, it surprises the hell out of me how we are so easily fooled, how all these things are being done right in front of our eyes and we can't see what's happening. Like, for example, I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but a friend of mine was telling me about the Super Bowl, about the halftime show. So I went on there and, went online and checked it out. And I was like, what the hell? Like, the halftime show was literally a Luciferian ritual that was happening right in front of our eyes, and people are sitting there cheering this shit on like it's entertainment, But anyways, man, I don't want to, go too deep into that, but the point is, this stuff is happening right in front of our faces and we can't see what's happening. And gender confusion is one of those things. And we have to understand, when you understand the Luciferian agenda and what Lucifer is really trying to do, then it's not a surprise to see all these things happening. We have to understand that the ultimate goal of Lucifer is to destroy the work of the Creator. You know what I'm saying? It's to destroy the work of the Creator by doing the exact opposite of everything that the Creator put into place. And one of those things is gender. And gender is not a complicated issue like they're trying to make it. Matter of fact, not too long ago, I was watching some show. I think it was this that clown ass nigga Trevor Noah talking about some gender reveal parties are harmful, and we should not be telling kids their gender because it creates a lot of harm within the kids and things like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Since when did gender become a bad and evil thing that destroys people? Like, you know? But like I said, when we are not grounded in the foundation of the laws and knowledge of creation, then we can be easily swept away by any nonsense. We can be easily fooled. And that's what's happening here. And the shit is not that complicated. It's really simple. But like I said, when you're not grounded in the laws and knowledge of creation, then yes, anybody can come around and carry you along into some nonsense. And by the time that you realize how destructive it is, it's too late. You know what I mean? And that's what's happening right now with gender. This Luciferian deception, this shit runs really deep, and we have to remember that ultimately the goal is to bring about the ultimate enslavement and destruction of the human spirit. I mean, that's the ultimate end of this. But of course, as always, it's always going to be sold and packaged to us as something, you know, great, something that we need. It's going to make our lives so much better, so much easier. It's bullshit. And this thing that they're trying to do with gender is going to destroy all of us. And we're letting it happen because we're ignorant and we don't understand the laws of our Creator. So in this video, let's dive a little deeper into gender, so that we can kill this confusion, so that you don't fall for this nonsense, so you don't keep cooperating with your own spiritual destruction. You know what I mean? So where does gender come from? Now, the creative power which brought everything into existence, this creative power that not only brought everything into existence, but maintains and nourishes everything, this creative power, of course, it comes from the Creator, right? Now, this creative power, which not only created everything, but maintains everything, when this power leaves the Creator, because the Creator has to send this power out into creation yearly in order to maintain creation, you know. So when this power, when it leaves the Creator and it flows and enters into creation, this power splits and becomes two, you know. It splits and becomes two, the feminine and the masculine, the negative and the positive, male and female. That's what happens when this power leaves the Creator and enters into creation. And once again, remember that everything was brought into existence through this power, you know. So when it enters creation, it splits and becomes two. That's why we have the negative and the positive. Now, it doesn't mean negative in the sense of something bad. It means negative in the sense of negative and positive charges. Matter of fact, when you look at the cross, this is what the cross represents. The vertical beam of the cross represents the masculine, and the horizontal beam of the cross represents the feminine. And they work together in harmony. But the thing about it is, this energy, these two energies cannot be fused into one. They must remain two. Now, with the Creator, this energy, when it's with the Creator, is one energy when it's with the Creator. But when it comes into creation, it must split. It has to split and become two. So in creation, this energy cannot be fused into one. It must remain two. It must remain in the form of the feminine and in the form of the masculine. And together, working harmoniously together, they bring everything into existence and they maintain everything. You know, so when you look at nature, all through our creation, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see the harmonious cooperation of feminine and masculine energies all the time, you know. So there are only two genders. You'll never look out into nature and see a third gender and see a third energy. No, it's only those two energies, you know. And this manifests in every life form. It manifests in plant life. It manifests in animal life, and it manifests in the other creatures, other beings of creation. You know what I mean? So there's only two genders. Everything else, every other manifestation of gender is a complete distortion. It's a spiritual distortion of humanity. There is nothing outside of the two genders. Everything else is a distortion. So you see what's happening here is that instead of us recognizing our ills, recognizing our distortions, and being honest about it and boldly facing it and trying to correct it, instead what we're trying to do is we're trying to change and adjust everything else to fit to our distortion, to our weaknesses, to our ignorance, to our stupidity. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change the laws of creation. We're trying to change God himself to adjust and fit to our distortions, to our stupidity and ignorance. It doesn't make sense, and it will never work. We are the ones who must change. Each and every one of us, we're all fucked up. Humanity is fucked up. We all carry within us this spiritual distortion to a lesser or greater degree. We all carry within us this darkness to a lesser or greater degree. So we are the ones who must change. We are the ones who must adjust ourselves in order to fit back into the puzzle of creation. You know what I'm saying? We will never be able to change creation, its laws, or the creator to adjust and fit and fit into our nonsense. It doesn't make sense. It will never work. You know? It's madness. But when you understand the Luciferian agenda, when you understand what they're really trying to do, then it all makes sense. This is not about the improvement of humanity. This is not about the betterment of humanity. This is about the spiritual destruction of humanity. And gender confusion is one of the ways in which they're going to do that. You cannot fuse the genders. You cannot eradicate gender lines without causing great harm, great irreversible harm to the human spirit. And that's what this is all about. So it's very important that we stand on the firm foundation of the Grail Message. This is why this message was given to us, so that we do not fall into this Luciferian darkness, so that we do not keep cooperating with our own enslavement and destruction. That's why this message was given to us. And this whole thing with gender is not even that complicated. It's very freaking simple. It's very simple. But they're going to take something that is very simple. They're going to overcomplicate it and confuse the shit out of you. Now they're telling you things like, nobody should decide what gender is. You know, if you want to be a woman today, fine. You want to be a man tomorrow, fine. How can we live like that? That shit doesn't make any sense. It is destructive. There are laws within this creation. If we do not recognize and adjust ourselves to these laws, they will destroy us. There is absolutely nothing above the law. Even Lucifer and his army and his disciples, whom are concentrated in places of power all over this planet, they're all going to be destroyed. Because nothing is above the laws of the Creator. So it's a very dangerous game that we are playing by toying with gender. You can't play with the powers of the Creator like that without bringing about some great destruction to ourselves. There are only two genders. Anything outside of that is a complete distortion, and it's evil. Look to nature. Nature tells us everything that we need to know. Look at how genders function in nature. Look at how the masculine and the feminine work together to create this beautiful thing that we know as nature. The feminine and the masculine work together to form our bodies. We can't We can't mess with this power without doing great harm to ourselves. So all this nonsense they're telling you about gender is not science. It's ignorance, it's stupidity, it's evil. Once again, anything outside of the feminine and masculine is a complete spiritual distortion. It's either complete feminine or it's complete masculine. There's no gray areas here. And trying to create this gray area is just going to bring about destruction to humanity. There is no gray areas here. It's either completely feminine or completely masculine. You can't be both. You can't be both. We have to learn this, and we have to stop fooling around with this power of the Creator, because it's only going to destroy us. So if you're feeling like you're a male one day and a female the next day, or you're trapped between two genders and shit like that, all it means is that you are fucked up to a certain degree within yourself. And we're all fucked up. And we just need to be honest enough with ourselves and bold enough to look at ourselves and say, yo, we're fucked up. I'm fucked up. And we need to change. We need to correct this shit somehow. You know what I'm saying? We need to learn about this. We need to understand it, and we need to seek to correct it. And we need to find our way back to the light of God. Because all these things we're doing and allowed to be and allowing to be done with our world is anti-God. You know what I mean? It's not that complicated, people. There are only two genders. When this power leaves the Creator and comes into creation, it splits into two, negative and positive, feminine, masculine, male, female. That's it. So the real question is, what have you done within yourself that has distorted you to a point where you can't even recognize the strictness of the genders? You know? But anyways, man, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video because it's getting longer than I wanted it to be, as always. You know what I mean? But this shit is serious. This shit is serious, man. We need to learn. We need to learn what is offered to us in the Grail Message. This message is a gift that has been given to us, and it's a gift that was given to us with great sacrifice. You know what I mean? And now more than ever, the world needs the Grail Message. This is why I make these videos. So if you're not familiar with the Grail Message, I always leave the link in my videos. Click on the description there. You're going to find a link there that says the Grail Message. You know, and for those of us who are familiar with the Grail Message, and even for people who are not familiar with the Grail Message, you want to read the original 1931 version of the Grail Message, not the one with the green cover. The one with the green cover has been altered and is missing a lot of the damn lectures. So go to the link that I provide in my videos, click on that link, it'll take you to the original version of the Grail Message that has all the original lectures. And you can read for absolutely free, or you can order the hard copy for a few bucks. You know what I mean? But this shit is real, man. The knowledge is there. And our ability to grasp this knowledge and understand it and apply it to our lives is the only thing that's going to save us. It's the only thing that's going to allow us to stand back in the light of God. Nothing else. So y'all keep following all these confused and ignorant motherfuckers who don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, they're just the blind leading the blind. And people always think because somebody is has some kind of a title or some kind of a you have these spirit channelers and these teachers and so forth, because somebody have a title or some kind of a high position and things like that, you think that everything they're saying is gospel truth. No, man. This is why we need the Grail Message. There's nothing like it in the world. There's absolutely nothing like the Grail Message in the world. But you cannot take my word for that. Please don't take my word for that. You have to discover this stuff for yourself. You know what I mean? So on a closing note, Once again, I want to give a big shout out to all my people in Texas, man. We are strong. We cannot be defeated. We're going to rise up out of this. You know what I'm saying? So let's remain encouraged, and let's not let this break our spirits. Texas is the biggest and probably the most powerful state in this nation. They need us, baby. You know what I'm saying? So peace and power to all my people, man. Peace and power to the true and living. This is CBornNacirfaSun, and I am you. And remember, I am you is just a deeper way of saying I love you. Because when you truly love people, you realize that you are everybody and everybody else is you. On a side note, in my last video, I mentioned that I deleted my Facebook account, but I didn't go through with it because a very respected friend of mine called me up and was like, man, I understand where you're coming from, but don't do it. Just like the darkness is using humanity in order to fulfill its agenda, we must also use the tools of the darkness to, fulfill the purpose of the light. So I didn't delete my Facebook account even though I wanted to. So I'm still on there. I'm still talking shit, and I'm still putting out mad information. You know what I mean? Peace and power.